Hey guys, it's Charge TCG. Today with another video. We're going over the archetypes for the Fire and Thunder deck. Some new archetypes that I add to the game, like I said last video, to quicken the pace of the game because I felt the game was a little bit slow last playtest. So I wanted to speed up the game a little bit because the game just felt a little too slow. So add these guys to speed up because archetypes, they target each other, they have the same kind of effects, they help each other out. It just speeds up the game, makes the game feel a little bit more consistent also. So, decided to add archetypes. The first archetype we're going to look at is the archetype for the Thunder deck. This is Shock Bugs. This one right here is a Shock Bug Flashfly, which is based off of Fireflies. And they're all based off of different bugs that can glow. Well, some of them are. Most of them are. Anyway, though, but he's a Thunder and Wind type, which is pretty cool. Wind's a new type that we haven't seen yet. And his effect is Flashing Light. When this card's mode changes, you may stun a fighter. And if you guys don't know what stun means that you put a counter on a card, like this, the yellow dice. And then now that card's effect is gone until the end of the owner's next turn. So whoever card got stunned, they can't. Their effect is gone until the end of their next turn. So if you stunned them during your turn, then their effect is going until the end of their next turn. But if you stun them as a reaction during their own turn, then they're stunned for 3 turns because they're stunned for that turn, stunned for your turn, and then they're stunned for their next turn, and then it'll go away. So depending on where you depending on how or when, I can't speak right now. Depending on when you stun them, it'll be longer or shorter, but it will always last at least one of their turns. But yeah, and it's basically like a non-permanent negate. Basically, it's like a temporary negate, if that makes sense. It's like a light negate. So it allows me to have negates in my game without it being like too powerful. Stuns are pretty good, but they're like the Thunder deck Sing. In this archetype Shock Bug, the Shock Bugs are really like stunning stuff. But yeah, if he changes his mode, he can just stun something. So if you could just like, oh shoot, I might die here, switch into guard mode, and then also you get a free stun, which is nice. And you can just keep on doing this, switch out of guard mode, stun, switch into guard mode, stun. It just makes switching feel a lot better on him. He's just really, and I like the art. The art is like kind of cool, kind of simple. It's whatever. Next card is Shock Bug Beetle, which is based off of some beetles that can glow in the dark. He is a 4/3, rank 1, Thunder type, and he has the effect Shock Horns. This card does double damage to stun fighters. So you could stun something with this, and then he can come in, and then he does 6 damage to it. So that thing is probably not living unless it's like Neb or something, because he has 7 HP. But most cards have like 6 or less. So he's like one tapping that thing. Next up right here is Shock Bug Glowworm, which is really it's a really interesting card. He's a Thunder and Earth type because he's a worm, and he's a 6/1, so he's pretty bulky. And he has the effect Glow Heal. Once during your turn, heal 2 damage for every stun counter on this card. This card ignores stun, doesn't lose its effect. So what you're supposed to do with Shock Bug Glowworm, you're supposed to stun him. If you stun your own card, if you stun him, then he can heal 2. For every stun counter he has on him, because you will put 1 stun counter when you stun him. If you have something else to stun him, then 2 stun counters, that means he can heal 4 damage. So yeah, he's a nice heal, and he can heal whatever you want on your field, not just him, not just himself. So yeah, he's just a nice healer card. He's a nice bulky card. Stop you just from getting run over by any like high attack cards. So yeah, he's nice. And we got Shock Bug Baby Shock Bug. Baby Shock Bug isn't really inspired by anything, except for like maybe Joltik from Pokemon. Accidentally, I didn't mean for them to look so similar, but they're different enough that it doesn't matter. I just like the background on this art. I think I did. Yeah, this is the only art that actually has a background, which I like. He's a Thunder type, rank 1. He's a 3/2, so he's pretty weak. And he has the effect Shock Bug Call. When this card gets attacked, free play a Shock Bug fighter from your hand. So when he gets attacked, you get to play any of these guys from your hand, which is really nice. So you can just put him in guard mode. You can put him in guard mode, and then let them break it, and then he won't die. Then you get to play something else from your hand. And then to kill it, they have to attack it again, and then you get to play something else. But obviously, the only problem with the effect is that you have to have the Shock Bugs in your hand, and you're not going to always have them in hand. So his effect can be really good or just really bad, depending on the situation. And then their boss card Rank 2, Shockbug Butterfly. And this is the other one that isn't really inspired by anything because no butterfly can actually glow in the dark. There are no butterflies that can glow in the dark, which is kind of sad. I looked that up. I was like, oh man, I really want to have a butterfly as a boss. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. The butterfly is going to be a boss. And it's a Thunder Wind type. And its effect, and it has a stat line of 8-3, so he's really bulky. And he's doing decent. Like 3 is okay. 3 is okay damage. It's okay damage. And then it has the effect Dazzle Shock. Once during your turn, put a stun counter on a card on the field. Now, you may be seeing how it didn't just say stun something. It said put a stun counter on a card on the field. Well, that wording is like that specifically. So what you can do with Shockbug is that you can stun any set card. You can stun any card on field, not just a fighter card. So you can stun one of your opponent's set cards, and then now that card is stunned and can't be activated. So it's just stuck in their special zone. Or you could stun an arena, and now that arena does nothing, which is really cool. So yeah, this card's really cool because it can stun any card that you want. You could stun an item. You could stun any. Oh, you guys don't know what an item is. You'll see later. You could stun anything with this card, which is really cool. Whereas the other cards can only stun fighters. This guy can stun anything. So yeah, he's really creative. And also, Baby Shockbug can free play him also, which is nice. So then you don't have to pay for him, only if he's in your hand. But still, it's still a little nice combo. So they're pretty fast. Baby Shockbug allows you to get some cards on for free if you have them in your hand. They just have a good pace. Shockbug Beetle can out damage a lot of stuff just by stunning things, and the stunning is a nice interruption, slowing down your opponent, and then you can speed yourself up. So yeah, they're really nice. They work really well together. They're a nice little small archetype, and they're pretty compact. It's a pretty compact archetype. They only have four rank 1s and a rank 2. And it works really well. Like they're really good as an archetype, but they're more of a support archetype for the Thunder deck itself. But yeah, and a cool little tech that I found out from a friend playing with me is that backup here, when your enemy breaks one of your fighter's guard modes, play this fighter from your hand. Is that when you have him in guard mode, they break his guard mode and attack him. You could play a Shockbug. Then you could activate backup and then play another fighter from your hand also, because they just broke your guard mode, which is really cool. So that means you get 2 fighters off of 1 attack. And the attack didn't even do damage, which is ridiculous. I know one of my friends pulled that out against me, and it made me want to crash. It's a really ridiculous combo. But also, it's like a wait. That would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a 4-card combo-ish. It's like it's kind of hard to get off, but when it does come off, that's insane. That gets on my nerve. It's a pretty cool tech. The next archetype is the archetype for the fire deck, Samurai archetype. This is Blaze Samurai. He's already been in the game, and he wasn't actually, Samurai wasn't an archetype, but now Samurai is archetype, so now he is part of the archetype, which is pretty cool. He's a fire type, he's a 3/4, and he has the effect Danger Sense. When your turn ends, switch this card into guard mode, which is nice. He just gets a free switch to guard mode, but he can lock himself in the guard mode. That's the only problem. Because if your opponent doesn't break his guard mode, when it goes back to your turn, you can switch him out of guard mode, but then you won't be the attack. And then he'll switch himself back into guard mode. So he can lock himself in by accident sometimes. That's the only problem. This is Katana. Oh, this is an item card. Yeah, you guys don't know what item cards are. This is an item card. Item cards are basically, they're interesting. So how item cards work is that you have to play them in your special zone, right? And you have to ready your item. Basically, what just means that you have to wait a turn before you can equip it to a fighter. You have to play it down your special zone, and it just takes up a special zone spot for 1 turn, and then when it goes back to your turn, then you can equip it to whatever card you're trying to equip it to. But you have to ready it first, so it doesn't just give you instant attack boost. And what your opponent can do is kill your fighter, and then when it's ready, then you have to either find another fighter to equip it to, or it's just stuck on your special zone, which is a kind of a problem because it's wasting space now. So yeah. But yeah, this is Katana. It can only be equipped to a Samurai. When the user's guard mode is broken, counter attack, which is kind of nice. It works really well with Blaze Samurai because he always puts himself in guard mode. They're just a nice little combo. But Katana could be equipped to other Samurais also, because as you're going to see, there's some more Samurais. But it's just a nice basic Samurai. It also gives you +2 attack. So that means it turns him into a 3/6 which is kind of ridiculous, but at the same time he's still a 3, so he's dying to a lot of things. That's his like main problem. A lot effect damage can kill him really easily. You're gonna see that as kind of a huge problem because they're both 3s. I just realized that. This is the Old Samurai. He is a normal type. He's a 3/7, and his effect is Mastered Slash. When this card attacks, it can attack on your next turn. So he is a 7. He hits like a truck, but he can attack, more times in a row. That's the only problem. So that kind of makes him kind of suck a little bit, but yeah. But like he's one tapping things as long as his attack doesn't get stopped. That's the only problem. If his attack gets stopped, now he's not one tapping things. That's his like main problem. And then this is one of my favorites. One of my friends suggested this idea to me, and I love it, man. This is Dog Samurai. He's a rank 1 normal type. He's a 3/2. Pretty similar to Shockbug, baby Shockbug. And then his effect is Fetch Katana. When a katana item is discarded, you may free play this card and equip that discarded katana to this card. So say your opponent killed one of your samurais, your katana, your equipped katana would go into discard pile with it, but then you could free play Dog Samurai, and then you get to equip that katana to him for free, and then the samurai would still die, but you get the katana, and then you get a free play. So that means you could be able to play something else during your turn also. Or you could do this during your opponent's turn also, because it just says when a katana gets discarded. So it could be during your opponent's turn also. So he's just a really nice little thing that you have as a free play. He's a cool card. Then our next katana is Wooden Katana. This card can skip being readied, but you must discard this card after the user attacks. And also, this doesn't have to be equipped to a samurai. You can equip this to any card. It gives +2 attack, and then you don't even have to ready it. You just can skip being readied and just equip it immediately, which is really nice. So it just stops. It just kind of like gives you a quick item that's equipped, but then also it discards itself afterwards. So that's like the only annoying part about it. But it's just a nice little basic item. It helps you a little bit. And also, it combos really well with Dark Samurai because it discards itself. You don't have to. Your samurai card doesn't have to die. And then you can free play Dog Samurai, and then you get it again, which is really nice. So you basically get 2 wooden katanas out of 1 wooden katana if you have Dog Samurai in your hand, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Dog Samurai combos with a lot of stuff. You'll see. Then we have Sheathed Katana. Only be equipped to a samurai. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I forgot what the archetype name was for a minute there. When the user attacks, discard this card. Then equip a katana item to the user from discard pile. So basically what this does is that it basically is like a katana revive, basically. It's like you're unsheathing your katana, and then boom, you have a katana. This technically isn't a katana because it's sheathed right now, but then you'll unsheath it, and then it'll be a katana. So you get to pull out a old katana, boom, and then you get a brand new katana, basically, which is pretty nice. It's just a nice way to cycle your katanas. But also, it discards itself, so that means you combo off a Dog Samurai, and then equip the sheath katana, boom, and then you get another katana revive to get back your other katana, which is it's a really nice. It seemed really good. It's really good, but like it's really combo-y, so you really need Dog Samurai in your hand to get most of your plays going. That's like the main problem with this deck, but it's really good when it does work. It's really good when it does work, and it's just a really cool archetype. The arts are really good in this archetype. I have to say, the arts are really good. Next up is Solon Emperor Samurai. So he is technically a samurai card. He's a fire plant, rank 2. He's a 7/4, and his effect is Emperor Samurai. You may free play this card if a Emperor fighter is on your field. Emperor fighters other than this card can't be attacked as long as this card stays on field, which is kind of nice. Basically, it's just Emperor Kai support, really. This dude, he gets like most of your plays going in fire, giving you a bunch of attack boosts and all that. And by having this, you get to free play something off of having him on your field, which you want to have him on your field anyway. And also, your opponent can't kill him either if he's on field, which is really nice. So he just protects your Emperor, which makes sense because he's an Emperor swordsman. So samurai. So it makes sense. He's supposed to protect his Emperor. So yeah, I didn't make the art for him yet. So yeah, eventually I'll do it. I just haven't done it yet. And then, next Samurai card, we got Mage Samurai, rank 1, Water type, and he's a 5/2. Once during your turn, do damage equal to this card's attack, but this card can't attack on your next turn. So basically what this means is that you can do 2 damage, and you can do attack with 2, but on your next turn, you can't attack. You can still do your effect with 2, which is kind of cool, but you just can't attack. But also, you can make your damage output even bigger if you equip a katana, because then that'll give you a +2 attack boost, and then now your damage output is even higher, because then you can use your effect 4 damage, then attack for 4. That's 8 damage, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You just can't attack during your next turn. You have to wait. And also the art's really cool too. I like the art on this. The color scheme's kind of nice, if you ask me. And yeah, that was the Samurai archetype. There we go. They're going to be a nice engine for the fire deck. Help them out a little bit. Same for the Shockbug archetype for the Thunder deck. And then next video, we're going to do a new playtest to see if the archetypes actually help the game, make the game a little bit faster. If it helped the game's pace, we're going to find out. Next devlog. Alright, charge out.